Guys, welcome on in to another episode, Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, MLB Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. Quite a few good spots in Major League Baseball to bet today. So we will, of course, break that all down. No thank you play of the day today, just because the last show was on Saturday. So it doesn't really make much sense to go back to Saturday's slate and thank somebody for on Saturday slate. So thank you the day. We'll be back tomorrow, but we will recap the weekend. And unfortunately, it wasn't pretty. The last 3 days overall, -6 units, 6.12 units overall. It was a rough weekend. Not going to go over everything here. Saturday, Sunday, both losing days. Yesterday, 1-3 in the props, but the premium play in Baltimore Orioles was a nice winner. So overall, a few bad days, and looking to bounce back here. Yesterday, like I said, small winning day. If you bet the three props and the four props and the premium play, so looking to get back into things here uh, on today's slate. We will bring up the comments. Good day to all. Hey, Tommy, how's it going? Good afternoon, Terry. You too as well. You too, Storage Club. Hope all is well. But we will jump right into it here and jump into today's slate. Allow me to bring up a spreadsheet here. And we will start not with that game. We will start with the first game here. LA Dodgers and the Pittsburgh Pirates here in this one. Let me bring it up here. Tyler Glasnow on the mound for the Dodgers, 6-3 with a 3.04 ERA on this season. He has no decision his last start against the Mets, back-to-back losses in his previous two starts. So not really coming in here playing his best recently. Jared Jones for Pittsburgh. Last start, a loss against Detroit. 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks. Previous start against San Francisco, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks. Previous game against the Cubs, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. So he's giving up hits. He's giving up at least 3 earned runs in recent starts. Now facing this Dodgers team, which their offense is not as consistent this year as I thought it was going to be. That's for sure. Freddie Freeman playing pretty well recently, multiple bases in 6 of his last 8 games. We will take him over 1.5 bases. And then I like the hit for a parlay piece. What day was it? Sunday. Sunday. I parlayed every single player that I had multiple bases for. I parlayed all 14 for a hit, and all 14 got a hit. So I did cash a small personal 14 game parlay using the parlay pieces on Sunday. So looking to keep that going here. Obviously, you're not going to cash those every day, but it was nice when with a losing day to get that parlay. So Freddie Freeman to get a hit, I like as a parlay piece, multiple bases. I like, which he's done in 6 of his last 8 games heading into this one. For Pittsburgh, Brian Reynolds, Nick Gonzalez. Overall, I've been getting hits, not necessarily multiple bases here. Don't really want to go against Glass now. I feel like he's going to get it together eventually. So this game, just one play, Freddie Freeman here. Pirates plus 160. Knicks fading the Dodgers? Oh my God. Who could have seen that coming? Glasnow almost got caught with sticky stuff a few starts ago. His numbers have gotten worse since then. Almost got caught. Really? He almost got caught? I don't know about that. Dodgers inconsistent bats. Yeah, I can agree with that. Mookie Betts has been a little bit cold. He did get a home run in his last game. So, but other previous to that, he'd been a little bit cold. And Shohei Ohtani isn't even on the spreadsheet here because he's not doing anything recently. Will Smith against lefties. That's what we want. Not a lefty starting today. So we'll take Freeman, second overall on the team against right handed pitchers. So we'll take him here in this game. I only have two sides today. One of them is a premium play that you can get up on the site, which I'll mention at the end of the show. And my other side I'm giving out on the show. So I'm giving out one of my premium plays on today's show. Moving on along to our second one game, we've got the Tampa Bay Rays and the Miami Marlins here. Ryan Papayat, definitely pronouncing that wrong, but on the mound for Tampa Bay. 3-2 in the season, 3.88 ERA and 9 starts. Giving up between 2 to 3 hits, 2 to 3 earned runs in recent starts. So he's been consistent. He has been getting hit a bit. Not really pitching long into games. Jesus Luzardo, who is ranked as the number one, who has the best odds to be traded at the trade deadline this year. 2-4 in the season with a 4.18 ERA, coming off a loss in his last starting at San Diego, but he had back-to-back wins before that. 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs against the Mets. 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks against the Brewers before his last start. So most likely he will find himself on another team at the trade deadline. Really, the Baltimore Orioles, with all of their pitching issues, maybe give Miami a call and try to get a lefty in Luzardo. But looking at this game here, Jose Siri 2 for 4 with 1 double against Luzardo. Siri has not been doing well against lefties at all this year. So ultimately, that's going to keep me off. He has an RBI in 5 of his last 6 games, so you could look at him there. But ultimately, I'm staying off this game. Josh Bell's been doing well recently. 2 for 7 against Papayat. Chisholm 0 for 5. Berger 1 for 4. So this game, not one of the ones I'm really interested in. But still thought I'd break it down anyway. Nick likes the Rays, minus 115. Yeah, they are the better team, although this Miami team isn't an auto fade recently, like they were earlier on in the season. They played somewhat better recently, but it's hard to play any worse than what they were doing. Kansas City Royals here, heading to Cleveland to face the Guardians. Seth Lugo on the mound for Kansas City. He has just been outstanding for the Royals. As I've said on previous shows, when he started, he's a big reason why the Royals are where they are. He's won. He is 6-0 in his last 7 starts. 1 no decision against Milwaukee, but he's won his last 4 starts. In his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, his last 7 starts, the most earned runs he's given up in a start is 2. He's basically giving up 1 or 2 runs a game, and that's it. So he's been absolutely fantastic for the Royals. Now he is facing the Cleveland Guardians bats. Cleveland, one of the top teams in Major League Baseball. Tristan McKenzie on the mound for Cleveland, not a pitcher I'm very fond of. Since he joined the ML, or since he joined the Major League, and since I've been betting on Tristan McKenzie, things just don't things don't work out. He's just one of those pitchers that I just can't quite get right. He will have absolutely amazing starts, and then the next game I'll bet on him, and he'll get hit. I believe I did get involved in the game against the Mets. He gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks. In his last start, 6 earned runs, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks. He's been giving up 3 to 4 walks to start, so he's been walking a lot of guys. Ultimately, when you're getting to player props, you don't want walks. You don't want to bet player props when the pitcher is walking a bunch of guys, unless you look at RBIs, unless you're doing RBIs. But if you're doing bases, hits, home runs. The last thing you want is a guy who's walking a bunch of guys. So when it comes to the Royals props here, um, I want to take Vinny Pasquantino for an RBI or over 1.5 bases. 0 for 3 against McKenzie, so not um, ultimately not getting to anything there with him. Don't want to go with Bobby Witt Jr. Obviously, he's pricey in this situation. And then the Guardians bats. I have nothing, not taking anything against Seth Lugo right now. So this game, ultimately, if I had to get to something, I'd be looking at the first 5 under. But as I said, I do not like to bet um, games with McKenzie on the mound. And I'm just noticing that we have a pitching change in the Washington game, which we'll get to here shortly. So I guess Trevor Williams isn't pitching today, which is kind of interesting. But we'll get to that game here in a bit. I guess I'll quickly go into the chat, which seems to be interested in this game. Royals first 5, minus 105. Couldn't talk you off that. I love Lugo. Is it regression time yet? Everyone is human and vulnerable eventually. Um, he's had a few starts where he's given up like 4 runs. Obviously not in his most recent starts. But I can't look at him and think about regression because of how consistent he's been. So ultimately, I can't. I don't think so. I'm not. I want to see the regression before I really bet on. Before I fade him, at least over 8. Um, no, I couldn't get to an over with these two pitchers. I couldn't. I would lean with the under. Lean Cleveland and over 8. Okay, there we go. Vinny Pasquantino over 1.5 total bases. You could look that way. Like I said, I don't. With McKenzie walking a bunch of guys, honestly, I'd go with the RBI. If you're going to do something here, I would go with the RBI with Pasquantino. I'm going to Politeri. I got a player prop today. Alec Burleson over 1.5 bases, plus 108. He's been doing good. That's for sure. Not currently on the spreadsheet because he was earlier, but then kind of went a little bit cool. So he's off the spreadsheet, but we'll get to that game because I do like player props in that game for sure. Is McKenzie 4-0 against Kansas City? I can check that out for you if you just give me a second. I can look up his stats against Kansas City. Just give me 2 more seconds here. Let's see. He is 4-2 against the Kansas City Royals. 2.70 ERA, 9 starts, 11 games played. So, no. Answer is no. He's not 4-0. He's 4-2. KC money line. Couldn't talk you off that. I would much rather them being at home. They are a better home team. Cleveland is a great home team. Ultimately, I can't get to this game. Is it time for J Ram to get his week started off right? Potentially. Potentially. Shit, I have Nats money line. LOL. Well, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. A few Mets actually have done pretty well against Williams, but Williams has pitched great for Washington. Now DJ Hers is starting, who I've never heard of before. So that definitely changes things there. But we will move on along to our next game here, which is between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Philadelphia Phillies. We are just getting news on the Brewers pitcher, who will be Jared Koenig, who just pitches 1 or 2 innings, so he's an opener here. And then I guess Milwaukee's going with kind of a bullpen day, like the Blue Jays are, which we'll get to here in a bit. So no information with pitchers here. What I do now is put bullpen day here. live edits on the spreadsheet on the show. Bullpen day, um, meaning like obviously there's going to be multiple pitchers. So looking at this game here, the Phillies have Christopher Sanchez on the mound, who's coming off a great start against San Francisco in his last game. 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk. Previous start before that in Colorado, 7 hits, 1 run, 1 walk. So he's been pitching pretty well recently. This Brewers team, Joey Ortiz has been doing great recently. Didn't get us the multiple bases yesterday, so that was unfortunate. And then Real Muto was a no-show yesterday. So obviously you can see multiple bases in 6 of 10, RBI in 2 of 9. Remuto's cooling off. Really, all three Phillies players here are starting to cool off a bit. So this game, ultimately a pass. I'm not interested in this game. McKenzie to record the win is plus 280. All right, best of luck. Best of luck. Brewers went bullpen yesterday. Ria listed as a starter for Milwaukee. No. Maybe he'll be coming in after Koenig, but Koenig is starting. So we'll see what happens there. Brewers money line and run line. RotoWire has Koenig. Yeah, he's an opener, 1 to 2 innings, and then we'll see what happens. So yeah, when it's a bullpen day, unless we have a hitter that's just smashing everyone, which we'll discuss. Normally, I try to stay away from bullpen days, but that won't be the case in the Orioles game. Ria's a primary pitcher, yeah, so it's probably going to be Koenig, and then Ria will come in afterwards. So ultimately, not getting involved in this game. New York Mets are heading to Washington to face the Nationals. Of course, it was supposed to be Trevor Williams on the mound, David Peterson on the mound for the Mets, and then DJ Hers on the mound for Washington. Obviously, this can all be deleted. And you can just put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, as none of these Mets players have ever faced this pitcher before because he's never made an MLB start. I was looking at JD Martinez, who had really good numbers against Williams. Ultimately, I stayed off because of how great Williams is pitched. And now Williams is even pitching. So no plays for me in this game. I will take a quick look here. Hers is a lefty. So we'll see when it comes to Mets players who on the team does good against lefties. JD Martinez is in second with 333 average. Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos is actually really, he should be on the spreadsheet. So I will be actually adding him afterwards. And actually, we might be getting his props. He's got a home run in 2 of his last 3, an RBI in 3 of his last 4, multiple bases in 3 of his last 4. So, yes, we are going to, and he's great against lefties. So, Mark Vientos. Not going to add his stuff into the spreadsheet while the show's on live because it'll drag on, but I'm adding his props. Mark Vientos. And actually, I'll go and take a look right now. He's probably at half a base, so I will probably get nice plus money for his over 1.5 bases here. Let me quickly take a look. Mark Vientos total bases. Oh yeah, over 1.5 bases is plus 110 in most spots. That's what I'm going to lock in. So check the spreadsheet. I may sprinkle a little bit on the home run as well. So check the spreadsheet. But now I'm getting involved in Mets props on Mark Vientos. And then we'll go back here. When it comes to Washington props, the 3 current hottest hitters, well, CJ Abrams hasn't even played in a while. So really, I should just take him off this spreadsheet at all. The 2 more hotter hitters here for Washington don't really do that good against lefties. and have not had a lot of success against Peterson, who was good in his first start overall. So ultimately, just Vientos props here, and that's it for this game. Bum, 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 bum. Brewers first five under. No, I can't get to a total with the bullpen day there. More overs here, potentially. Yesterday's total was blown out of the water. Yeah, that's definitely true. Never heard of Natty's pitcher, which means he probably shoves. We'll see. We'll see. Nats money line. They are my sleeper team. Hmm. Okay. Vientos took Beatty's job. Yeah. Well, I can see why. The way he's been hitting lately, I can see why. So we'll hope he hope he can continue it today when we take his props after the show. Do Nats smash righties? Let me see here against righties. Washington is 22nd in OPS against righties. So no, not really. And they're facing a lefty, which they have worse numbers against. So yeah. But we will move on along to the next game here, which is between the Minnesota Twins and the New York Yankees. Here in this one, Bailey Ober on the mound for the Twins. 5-3 in the season with a 4.89 ERA. He's had two really rough starts recently. His last start against Kansas City, 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs. Recorded the win against Texas, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks. Probably got a little bit lucky there. Against the game previous before against Cleveland, 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs. It's not been very good for Bailey Ober recently. He gave up 3 home runs in his last start against Kansas City. He's given up at least 1 home run in 5 of his last 6 starts. And now he's facing this Yankees team who, when talking about teams that smash righties, the New York Yankees are number 1 in baseball with an 801 OPS against righties, quite a bit ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers in second with 7.765. The Yankees 801. So the Yankees do have a lot of success against righties. Ober is struggling here. And on the mound for the Yankees is a big surprise. Luis Gil on the season, 7-1 with a 1.99 ERA and 11 starts. He has been outstanding. Overall, in his 6 starts in May, he's given up 3 earned runs in 38.2 innings. 6-0 with a 0.7 ERA in those 6 starts. Yes, he did face the White Sox, a team that doesn't have a good offense. Seattle, a team that doesn't have a good offense. Tampa Bay, not really the best offense. The Angels, not really the best offense. But he did face Baltimore and Houston. And in the 2 starts against Baltimore and Houston, pitching 12.1 innings, he gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run. So Luis Gil has been great. Now, the Minnesota Twins have been playing pretty well recently. So that is something to keep in mind here in this game. Looking at player props here for the Twins right now, nobody I'm really interested in that's on this spreadsheet. However, Royce Lewis is making his return to the lineup for the Twins, which is definitely a boost for them. We bet him in the first game of the season, and he hit a home run. I believe we were on the home run for Royce Lewis in that game. He is going to be back on the spreadsheet very, very soon. Royce Lewis is definitely someone from Minnesota that we're going to be looking at for player props. I hope he stays healthy because he is quite the batter for the Minnesota Twins. Looking at props here, Juan Soto. Hit is a good parlay piece. I also like Volpe a hit in 24 of his last 25 games. That's a no-brainer. Judge, 18 of his last 20. Going a quarter unit on Soto home run, a quarter unit on Judge home run, but we're going with the full unit on Juan Soto over 1.5 bases. He's 2 for 3 against Bailey Ober with 2 doubles. Soto playing very well right now. Bailey Ober has not. So we will go with Soto for the home run and the full unit play on over 1.5 bases. Also, quarter unit on Judge home run. I didn't put a half unit on it. It's not, I think it's like what, +2 something. So not the best odds at all for Judge home run, but Bailey Ober's been giving up home runs. Now he's got to face this Yankees offense. I'm willing to bet that Judge or Soto, one of them is going to hit a home run in this game. I can't see both of them not getting a home run. So I like one of them at least. Betting both of them. Won't be surprised to see both of them hit a home run in this game. We'll go back. We'll be going back. Lane Thomas, nothing for the past 2 games tonight, maybe. Yeah, not really interested. Vientos RBI or 1.5 bases or both. Check the spreadsheet when the show is over. A link for the spreadsheet is in the description of the YouTube video. I will be locking in my props after the show because I'm doing the show right now and don't want to take a break to log in the props. But most likely it'll be both. Definitely definitely over 1.5 bases. I want to check the price in RBI, but most likely we're getting to both. Yes. Yanks run line -1.5. Gill gave up 3 earned runs in his last 6 starts. This is the game my premium play is in. That's for sale up on the site. But with all the information I've gave out on today's show, you can probably guess what my premium play is. But I'm still going to leave it up on the site. So if you want it, but you probably know what it is, it's available for sale. Yankees run line cash cow. All right. Yankees money line, Dodgers money line. Interesting. +141. Yankees first 5 -0.5, -125. Play of the day. Yeah, that definitely looks good. Definitely looks good. Yankees enough rest after West Coast road trip. Game 1 could be stolen by Minnesota. Maybe, but Yankees run line +115. Twins play dad today. Also, yeah, something like what Nick's saying here. The Twins do not like facing the Yankees at all. They faced each other in Minnesota earlier this season. The Yankees won all 3, outscored Minnesota 14-1 in absolute domination fashion. The Yankees have definitely been a team Minnesota has not liked to face recent years. What's the opposite of Golden Glove? Anthony Volpe over 1+ error. Whoa, there we go. Has he been giving up errors? Yankees Caleb Ferguson to blow the lead in the 8th? Question mark. Juan Soto, thumbs up. Okay, so you like the Juan Soto. Kind of hard not to. Judge home run is +125. Who is he? Matthews for a goal? LOL. For his home run? Yeah, your book's giving off bad odds. That's for sure. I've obviously said to take the home run for a quarter unit, but a +125? That's awful. That's awful. Returning from West Coast to East Coast is no joke. Yeah, and luckily it's good that they had the day off. That's the good thing is that they had the day off. But we'll move on along to our next game. The Baltimore Orioles heading to Toronto to face the Blue Jays in this game. Corbin Burns on the mound for Baltimore at 5-2 with a 2.35 ERA. Trevor Richards will start for the Jays. It'll be a bullpen day for them in this game. And I did wait to lock in the Orioles run line, which is one of my premium plays up on the site. I locked that in earlier this morning. -105 for the Orioles run line once the Jays pitching was announced. I wanted to make sure because there was some questions that maybe Jose Barrios would start, and I wanted to make sure that wasn't the case before locking in the Orioles run line. Now, I could very well still get to the Orioles run line tomorrow against Barrios, but wanted to see who's pitching in this game, and it's a bullpen day, which is scary. If you're a Blue Jays fan like myself, uh, really, it's even with Jose Barrios on the mound, the Jays are just completely outmatched by this Orioles team. The Orioles are better in every area, every single area. They are the better team than the Toronto Blue Jays. Um, I absolutely hated the Orioles last year as a Blue Jays fan because of how dominating the Orioles are against the Blue Jays. Now, this year, the Blue Jays aren't good, and I can just bet against them with no issue, which is what I'm doing here. Baltimore 7-1 in their last 8 trips to Toronto. They've won 9 of their last 11 games, 12-4 in the last 16 between these two teams. They've got Corbin Burns on the mound, who gave up 6 hits, 1 run over 6 innings against Toronto in his first start. Um, I don't see much changing from game one. I think the Orioles win this by multiple runs. I have the -1.5. If you wanted to look at the -2.5, I think this is a scary situation for the Jays um, having a bullpen day against this Orioles team. Looking at player props, we are taking Gunnar Henderson. I like him for a hit as a parlay piece, quarter unit on the home run, and a half unit on over 1.5 bases for Henderson. I like Westberg for a hit, which he's done in 8 games in a row. I don't have him for multiple bases because he's 3 of those 8 games, he just got a single. So we'll just take him for a hit as a parlay piece. Anthony Santander, a hit in 6 straight games. We'll take him for a hit as a parlay piece. Quarter unit on his home run, which he's done in 2 of his last 3. And then a half unit on over 1.5 bases, which he's done in 3 of his last 4. And Mountcastle, Rutschman, Stowers, not getting to any of the 3. Will be getting to Rutschman tomorrow against Jose Barrios because shocking numbers for Rutschman against Barrios. So we'll discuss that tomorrow. Staying off Mountcastle, Stowers hasn't played a lot, so we'll stay away from him. When it comes to the Blue Jays, the only player I could look at would possibly be George Springer. But I have no interest in betting a Blue Jays prop, especially against Corbin Burns. If you want to make money, look at the Orioles props. Stay away from the Jays props. That's coming from a Jays fan here. Talk to me about the O's. I said all that needs to be said. It didn't taste very good coming out of my mouth talking about the O's. Baltimore money line is a parlay. You could do that. I'm on the run line as a single play. Burns has a slow start to the season, and Jays are horrendous. I don't know if you'd call it a slow start to the season for Burns. He's been great. Tell the truth. Don't tease me. Is today a Toronto bullpen day? Unfortunately for Jays fans, yes, it is. Baltimore team total over 4.5, -106. And you know what? I really should be looking at team totals a lot better, or sorry, a lot more. I really should. So, uh, stay tuned to Twitter. Most likely, I'm going to be adding this as well. I'm going to look at some team totals for today. So we will I'll post those on Twitter's my team totals I look at. Bo Bichette looks way different this season. Yeah, he's just a lot of Jays just don't look great this season. And you have to wonder if it is coaching, but it's also management as well. The Jays are just a mess, total mess. Corbin Burns 5+ strikeouts -250 is a parlay piece. Yeah, I'm staying away from strikeout props, as I've said in earlier shows. So betting is so much easier when our teams suck. And you know what? That is true. That is true. I have absolutely no issues betting against the Jays um, because they're just not a good team. That's just how it is. So it is so much easier when our teams suck. Nice. I cashed yesterday with the Orioles. Let's go again. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. It's about making money, not fandom. Atlanta Braves are facing the Boston Red Sox. Max Fried on the mound for the Braves. Cutter Crawford on the mound for Boston. Be really quick with this game. It's ultimately not what I'm getting to. The Braves are a team where their offense has not been consistent this year. And I mentioned losing Acuna. I won't mention it too much longer because he's gone for the season. So I won't mention it every day, but not having him definitely hurts this Braves team. The Red Sox, I'm not looking to take any player props against Max Fried. I'm just not. So this game, a nice and quick pass for today. The Chicago White Sox are heading to Chicago, or well, they're obviously already in Chicago to face the Cubs. Here in this game, dun, 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 dun. Chris Flexen on the mound for the White Sox, 2-5 with a 5.50 ERA. His last start against Toronto was not too bad. He did record the loss, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts. And yeah, when you give up 2 earned runs and 5 walks, 4 hits, and I'm saying that's not too bad, that tells you what he's done before that. Baltimore, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks. The Yankees, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk. He has struggled on the season. Now he's facing this Cubs team, which is another team that's offense hasn't been consistent enough this year. And first thing I noticed here is that player props are pretty juiced here in this game. And that is because the total's at 9.5 here in Chicago at Wrigley Field. So that tells you all you need to know when you see a total of 9.5. That lets you know what's going on with the wind. So books expecting a higher scoring game here. And that's with Shota Amanga on the mound for the Cubs. Now, after being pretty much perfect for his MLB career, he faced the Brewers in his last game, 4.1 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So by far, his worst start of his MLB career. But after allowing 7 earned runs, he's still 5-1 with a 1.86 ERA in 10 starts, which most pitchers would kill to have numbers like that. So now he faces this White Sox offense. Perfect spot for him to bounce back. When you look at this game, the Cubs run line is minus 140. So there's no way for me to get to a side here. Talking about team totals, I don't trust the Cubs enough. I don't trust their offense enough to take a team total over with them because it's most likely, again, going to be juice. So when it comes to this game, I do have a play, though. I have 2 plays. So I do, when you're looking at the Cubs offense recently, there's one player that has been consistent, Seiya Suzuki. A hit in 10 games in a row. I like that for a parlay piece. Over 1.5 bases, he's done in 4 or 5, which a half unit on that, and an RBI, which he's done in 3 or 4, half unit on that as well. He's 2 for 4 against Flexen, both singles, but 2 for 4. And if he goes 2 for 4 again today, and the guy happens to be on base with one of those hits, then we can cash both plays and get the parlay piece. So that's what I'm looking at. Seiya Suzuki here in this game against in the Battle of Chicago. I will go with Seiya Suzuki. Over 1.5 bases and RBI in this one. Nice. Oh, yeah, we saw that already. Matt Olson, Rafael Devers, and Duran, all batters to have success in this series. Okay. Okay. White Sox plus 2.5, minus 125. Okay. Interesting. Cubs minus 1.5, minus 145, cash cow. Uh, White Sox team total over 3.5 is a lean as well. I would disagree there. I would disagree there. Robert, line too high for cash cow minus 280 is the highest of the threshold. Nick, I thought you guys liked Amanga. I do. I think this is a great bounce back spot for him. Now the wind isn't great, but this White Sox offense is not great at all either. So Tommy likes him to bounce back. Tommy fan will have success in this series. So will Suzuki. That's what I want to see. P.S. I'm from Chicago, and White Sox bullpen is trash. Cubbies are not firing on all cylinders like in the beginning of the season. I agree, and that's why I'm not taking a side in this game. I'm just taking the hot hitter in Suzuki. Robert, I do like Shota. Don't like the price today value on the White Sox. Sometimes you get what you pay for. Yeah. And yeah, that's basically all for the Battle of Chicago. Detroit Tigers and the Texas Rangers here in this one. Jack Flaherty on the mound for the Tigers, Dane Dunning on the mound for Texas. And we've found it. We have found the pitcher that knows how to stop Corey Seager, which is very rare in Major League Baseball that you can find someone that knows how to shut down Corey Seager. But Jack Flaherty has done it. Corey Seager's 0 for 8 against him in his career. Not touching Corey Seager props, but the way Corey Seager's playing right now won't shock me at all to see him end that 0 for streak against Flaherty. Flaherty is playing very well. He's pitching very well recently. So ultimately staying off there. Vierling and Green props, both multiple bases in 6 of their last 7 games. They've both been doing well. Riley 0 for 2 against Dunning. Ultimately, this game's a pass. This game is a pass for me, but still going over it and giving up the stats anyway for people that are interested in this game. Motor City Kitties minus 110. Yes, we know you hate the Texas Rangers, Nick. Tigers first 5 minus a half, but I can understand why you'd be on them today. It makes sense. Plus 120. And Tigers full game minus 108. Best of luck. Best of luck. But we will go on to my favorite game of the night, which is shocking that I'm saying that about the St. Louis Cardinals and the Houston Astros. For St. Louis, we have Andre Palante on the mound for the Cardinals, coming off a win in his last start. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs against the Cincinnati Reds. Previous start against Milwaukee, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 innings. Against Arizona, he only went 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, no runs. So it's to be determined exactly how long he's going to pitch in this game. He was a 1 inning guy, reliever, and made his first start in the last game against Cincinnati. And now he's facing this Houston Astros offense. And while this Houston Astros team has not been good this year, 27-34, their main issue has been pitching. Their offense has been decent, actually better than decent. On the mound for Houston is Spencer Arrighetti, who's also coming off a really good start in his last game, going now against Seattle, who is one of the worst offensive teams in baseball. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks. Previous start against Oakland, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks. And before that against Milwaukee, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, and 2 walks. So Arrighetti is walking guys, which is not exactly something I want to see. But I feel like if he is going to walk guys, he's probably going to look more at Goldschmidt and Arenado. Nolan Gorman has been absolutely red hot recently. A hit in 5 of his last 6 games, a home run in 4 of his last 6. And of course, when you've got a home run in 4 of your last 6, you've also got multiple bases and RBIs in 4 of your last 6. We are going with Gorman today. Like the parlay piece, quarter unit on the home run, half units on over 1.5 bases and RBI. I really like Nolan Gorman to continue his recent success. And when it comes to the Houston Astros, we like players there too. Bregman for a hit, 7 games in a row, nice parlay piece. Jordan Alvarez for a hit, also a good parlay piece, 15 of his last 16 games. Quarter unit on Alvarez home run, which he's done in 2 of 3. Quarter unit on Bregman home run, which he's done in 5 of 7, and a half unit on Bregman over 1.5 bases, which he's done in 6 of his last 7 games for the Astros. Both of these guys homered yesterday, and I hope that they can both homer again against the St. Louis Cardinals. So lots of units in this game. Cardinals and Astros. Give me a high scoring game with a lot of home runs, and I'll be happy in this one. Bum, 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 bum. Lean cards, first 5 money line, plus 130. All right. Lean Strohs -1. Missed my line though. All right. No side for me here. Hey, Terry and friends, I'll post my best hitters after the show in the comment section, like you did before. Thanks, Kelly. Everyone take a look at the comment section after to see Kelly's hits. What was team total over or run line? Suzuki over 1.5 bases are your favorite place? All right. We're in agreement. I like it, Tommy. Maybe Houston team total. Yeah, maybe. This actually might be another game where I look at for team totals. Yes, I use Swish Analytics, by the way. Yes, that's one of the sites I use as well. Arrighetti over 2.5 walks plus 135. I would buy 2 walks and no hook. All right. Hoping he gives up more hits than walks today. Fingers crossed. Joe Pavelski retires. Wow. Some NHL news. Wow. Obviously, there was whispers about that. I was thinking maybe he would consider one more year, but I guess not. And he never won a cup. Sad. Yeah, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not easy to win a Stanley Cup, and he had quite the amount of chances, being in San Jose in their heyday when they were a perennial playoff team. Could never get the job done. Is Arrighetti due for a reasonable outing or what? He had it last game against Seattle. And that's good enough for me. Houston #1, yes, run first inning team from Pimp Slot POD. All right, for people that like Yerfies and Nerfies. Adam says first period, first 5 over 4.5, -135. Both pitchers suck. I hope so. Because then we'll cash a lot of props in this game. Moving on along, Cincinnati Reds, who are starting to heat up. We're starting to see the Cincinnati offense that I expected in recent games. Now they are in Colorado, which obviously should give you a boost. But before that, they were starting to heat up. Frankie Montas on the mound for Cincinnati, Ty Block on the mound for Colorado, and no props here for me in this game. Ultimately, the reason being, when you're in Colorado, it's extremely pricey to bet player props. So you've got to kind of be willing to look at the over 2.5 bases, which I'm just not interested in this game. Steer, Candelario been doing good when it comes to over 1.5 bases. Stevenson, Candelario both had home runs in their last game. So there are players to look at here, but ultimately not one of my favorite games here on today. First 5 over in St. Louis, Colorado is solid. All right. Sounds good. We will go on along to the next game. San Diego Padres are in LA facing the Angels. Adam Mazur on the mound for San Diego, making his MLB debut in this game. And then for the Angels is Patrick Sandoval, 2-8 with a 5.34 ERA on the season. Padres better against righties than lefties. Not a whole lot of success against lefties this year. ultimately this game's another pass. Now, Jurickson Profar has been very good against Sandoval, 4 for 5 with 2 home runs. So maybe you want to give Profar a look. Shout out to Crystal Craig, a viewer of the show, who sent me that information, and I put him up here on this on the spreadsheet. Angels, that Kevin Pillar, Luis Renifo are starting to cool off, and having a rookie on the mound for his debut. Not interested in betting against him or for him. So easy pass for me in that one. San Francisco Giants are in Arizona to face the Diamondbacks. Harrison on the mound for San Francisco. Blake Walston on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Not getting to any Giants props here, but we are going to be taking Lourdes Gurriel Jr. I like him for a hit as a parlay piece. He's got a home run in back-to-back games. We're going quarter unit on the home run, half unit on over 1.5 bases. He's 2 for 2 with a double against Harrison. So we will back Lourdes Gurriel, who historically is a very streaky guy. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, he's cold. And he's getting hot recently. So we'll back him here against a pitcher that he's had success against in this game. Colorado will win one of these games. No, they have a decent home record. Maybe, but not getting around to it. Padres money line parlay piece. All right, who's on Tampa Bay Rays money line? Question mark. Padres money line / run line. Profar looks really good. Yeah, you could look at Profar for sure. D-backs money line. Okay. Padres stranded 1,000 runners last night and lost what should have been a 5-1 or 6-1 game. Shake my head. There you go. So, yeah, not what I want to see if I was going to back someone's player props, that's for sure. White Sox have lost 11 straight, lost 15 of last 16. First team to lose 10 straight this year. Yesterday, Toronto, roof was open. Not sure about today. All right. Trenton Brooks under a hit. Yesterday it hit and it was plus money. All right. Thanks, Juan. I don't even know who Trenton Brooks is. So there you go. That's probably why he's that price. San Diego Padres bounces back tonight or tomorrow. Can't figure it out. Yeah, we'll see. Won't matter to me unless I take their props tomorrow. But final game of the night is the Oakland Athletics and the Seattle Mariners. Kirby on the mound for Seattle. Mitch Spence for the Oakland Athletics. And yeah, this is another game where I'm passing. No real interest here. JJ Bleday, 2 for 3 with the home run against Kirby. But Bleday has not really been hitting the ball all that well recently. And then Seattle players, as I've said, I believe they're the second worst offense in baseball, with only the White Sox worse than them. So no interest in Seattle props or Oakland props. And that's it. We'll go to the chat. Me neither, Terry. Yeah, exactly. Arizona Carroll moved to 7, batting 7 slot because he's not hitting. Yeah, he's been going all over the lineup and he hasn't been hitting. So maybe he's going to find himself going to another team. Maybe he needs a fresh start. Ride the wave, first 5 plus 140 with Oakland. All right. Oakland, Seattle, first 5 under? Question mark. Yeah, maybe. Good luck today, Terry and chat. Thank you for the show. If I ain't here live, I'm always going back and rewatching. Thanks, Top Geo. Really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the show. A spot, maybe plus 1.5. Hey, if you guys like the ace, good luck. I'm not against you. Thanks, Terry. Hey, no problem. We will get into the recap of today's plays in just 1 second here. Of course, as I mentioned, I will be adding Vientos props for the New York Mets game. So check the spreadsheet. Most likely it's just going to be over 1.5 bases, but I might get to RBI as well. I want to check after the show. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 bases, plus 106 for a half unit. Judge over half a home run, which I got at FanDuel for plus 186 quarter unit. Soto home run plus 280 for a quarter unit. Juan Soto over 1.5 bases plus 110. A full unit play. My favorite player prop of the day. And Juan Soto. Gunnar Henderson home run plus 390. Gunnar Henderson over 1.5 bases minus 115. Anthony Sandaire over 1.5 bases plus 123. Anthony Sandaire home run plus 400. Premium play Baltimore Orioles run line minus 105. Seiya Suzuki over half an RBI plus 125, over 1.5 bases minus 115. Alex Bregman home run plus 630. Very nice price for him. Over 1.5 bases plus 135. Yordan Alvarez home run plus 420. Nolan Gorman RBI plus 175. Over 1.5 bases plus 163. Home run plus 390. And then Lourdes Gurriel over 1.5 bases plus 107, home run plus 600. So we've got some nice big plus money home run plays on today's slate. And hopefully we'll hit some of them. And hopefully it'll be a good night today. Got to run. Thanks, Terry, and all. Best of luck. Let's go O's. Yes. Thank you, Terry in chat. No problem. It's nice that you recap too. Yeah. Well, now that it's really easy to recap just using BetStamp. I could just quickly recap. And the CFL. Yes, CFL starts Thursday. I'm going to be doing planning on doing a season preview show probably tomorrow, where I'll go over my CFL futures. I'm not going to have a lot of CFL futures, so actually I'll probably just go over them when I talk about the CFL on Thursday. So for those that don't know, yes, CFL is back. Canadian Football League. There's a game Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there's a game every day for the next few days. So we'll break those down probably on Thursday. And something I do with the CFL is I have a power rankings, which I will show everyone my power rankings, how I rank each of the 9 teams. So that'll be a segment for the CFL part of the show. Thanks, Terry. Great show. Thanks, Billy. Thanks for watching as always. Some great Cup futures I have my eye on, BC and Hamilton. There you go. There you go. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on any Grey Cup futures beforehand, but I am going to be getting to some season win totals. So probably I'll just do a quick show going over CFL futures. So stay tuned to the channel. It's probably better I just do a quick show and just go over my season win totals because there are a few that I'm going to be betting. Nice, Terry. Thanks. Hey, no problem. Picks and Parlays exclusive play of the day. You can go purchase that over on the site in the New York Yankee and Minnesota Twins game. Don't buy the Baltimore one because I've already given it out. And that's today's show. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you guys enjoyed the show, feel free to share it out on social media. I'd really appreciate it. But thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow for another episode. Getting Wild with Terry and Friends, MLB Trends and Betting Picks. Thanks for watching, guys.